All right, Star Wars fans, what's up? Before I get into this, I want you to bear with me, please, because it's thunderstorming outside. Okay, it's thunderstorming outside, and there's a chance my may come out, may go out. So I'm just gonna let you know, warning for that. So welcome to AWO. Welcome to the Acolytes channel, not the Acolytes channel. Welcome to my channel, Pop Culture channel. Not a pop culture live stream, but we're gonna be talking about something I wasn't going to talk about. Actually, wasn't planning to do, uh, and that's gonna be talking about this episode 1 to 3 of the Acolyte, Star Wars: The Acolyte. And yes, I don't know how I feel about the show. That's the title of my screen right now. Okay? I really, I'm okay. And we're gonna, and obviously this is a spoiler review, so there will be spoilers. Okay? That's a fair warning. I like to have Blinded, who just finished watching episode 3 to get ready for this show. So thank you, Blinded, for that. And how is Blinded today?
I'm okay. I'm still dealing with that cough, which is really annoying.
What was that? I'm sorry, what was that, Blinded? I missed that.
I'm just dealing with the cough that is now
Oh,
like a month old.
100-day
Yeah,
cough.
yes, the 100-day cough.
Is there is there some medicine or something you could take?
Yeah, I got a puffer for it, and I'm
Oh,
also still taking like cold medication and stuff.
does it help?
I mean, I still have it, so I just got
I
the
mean,
puffer, so hopefully
oh,
I'm supposed to use it for the next 2 weeks.
oh man,
Yeah,
oh man. They said 100 days, right? Around 100 days. So, oh, you got 2 months.
yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah,
I guess it's because they rounded up to at least 100 days.
yeah, I guess it's because it lasts a couple or a month or
Yeah,
so. So I'm hoping
it's
it goes away like at least by the end of this month.
yeah. It sucks. I know it's not serious, but it's just annoying.
Well, yeah, it's annoying and it hurts my chest. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like a dry cough. There's no like
Yes.
mucus or anything. It hurts. It does hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So yeah, we're gonna. All right. Yeah. Like I said, welcome to the spoiler review of the first 3 episodes of the Acolyte. I said this multiple times before. I know you guys listened to me. I wasn't gonna do a spoiler review on this show at
Hmm.
all. At all. I did say this, so I went back on my word. I admit it. This only came up about an hour or two ago. Maybe an hour or to 2 hours ago. I decided that you know what, I'll do this 1 to 3 because, like my title says, I don't know how I feel about this show. Uh, this show to me right now is very slow, and
Yeah.
I think this third episode was is out of place. Honestly, I think this third episode should have saved it for the middle. Um,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I'll say that because I, based on the second episode when we got the glimpse of the Wookiee Jedi, it should have started up with the third episode first,
Yeah.
it, right? And then Saul, whatever do is, and obviously then do the Wookiee episode, get the fourth, fifth episode, and then maybe the fifth or sixth episode should be this episode because you kind of introduced us to the Wookiee in episode
The
two.
last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you introduce something again into in in this episode. But this is not how you introduce the Wookiee, the Wookiee
By the way,
Jedi.
how many episodes are there?
I think there might be eight or nine. Let me check.
Okay.
Let me check. This is like
Because
I know, I know we're expected to see the Wookiee in the third episode, but it should not be an episode where we see him in the past.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see. God damn, I lost my train of thought now. Frick.
8 episodes.
Okay, 8 episodes.
Oh, you lost where you're.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought, so I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Okay. Well, I was saying about the Wookiee, right? Yeah, you know what? You can't. The thing is, it should be when we introduce the Wookiee in the next episode 2, it should be in the present time, not in the past. And then in the later episodes, we see why, why the villain, why May hunted down the Wookiee. That's where this
Yes,
episode
yeah,
is out of place. That's to me, this episode is out of place because of stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, we're 3 episodes in, and um, like I'm not like everybody. Like everybody's like, this is the worst Star Wars show. Personally, I think the worst Star Wars show is either Obi-Wan or Book of Boba Fett because those shows I dropped and I never finished Obi-Wan and I only came back to the ending of Book of Boba Fett. Those shows just like bored me to tears. I'm not necessarily bored with the show. I'm just because it's also shorter too. But I'm kind of like, what is the point of this? Like I really don't know what's going on. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not like super deep into Star Wars lore.
Yeah, we need to
To be
crash you
honest,
on there.
yeah, to be honest, I don't really like Star Wars lore that much. Obviously I like the movies and I like some of the TV shows and I like some of the games. Some animated stuff, I'm again like controversial take, but I don't really care for Clone Wars,
Uh
so
huh.
I never I didn't bother watching Rebels or Ahsoka because that's just not what I want in Star Wars. But this show, like, I mean, it's a different era. There's some mystery to it, but I'm like, well, like, okay, well, I feel like if this is a mystery, can we pace it a little bit better? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I think because it's like I'm starting to lose exactly what is the mystery, and like watching this third episode, like yeah, it wasn't as bad as people were saying, but at the same time, like I could see some problems. Like yeah, the kid actors weren't great, not their fault, but you know, um, what else was there? I also think it just seems this is maybe a personal gripe, but I'm like sitting there and I'm like I don't know if I feel like I can relate or understand what these kids are going through and this whole like, oh yeah, we're the Jedi and we're going to take you away because that's our duty. And the mothers are like, no, we want you to become witches. And but it's like why? And I guess maybe that's going to be explained further in episodes, but that's why I agree with you. I think this maybe should have been like an entire episode where we find out what actually happened to her parents and what was going on, but I'm guessing that's a part of the mystery. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I feel very mixed on it. Like I was watching this episode and I'm just thinking, I don't love it. I don't hate it. Like I'm just neutral. Like I don't
Mm,
have any feelings toward this just yet. So that's why I'm gonna probably watch it in its entirety because I really don't know how to feel about this. This is the first time Star Wars has made me feel like I don't want to say conflicted, but just sort of like I guess I'll watch it, but I'm not like in love with it. It's a very weird feeling to have, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. I, the first 2 episodes. I felt like there was a direction. This episode, obviously, is part of the main story. It just felt like it took it in a different not a different direction, but I felt like you said, it was a misplaced episode. I think
Yeah,
it feels it's a misplaced episode. This episode, yeah, we knew. I mean, we had to see why the twins. Obviously, we have to see the backstory of the twins.
Mhm.
how they split up and how and all of that, how they were able to split up and how the Jedi were able to take it Osha and how May survived. We have to see the backstory of that and the idea that they're how they were born, all that. We had to see that, but that was not meant for the third episode because that was not meant. You introduce us to a Wookiee at the end of the second episode. You don't do that in the third episode. You don't make. I know they showed them in the third episode, but that's not how you do it. You show the third episode with the Wookiee involved, but with May hunting him, and then
Yeah,
whatever the future he has in the show, whether he's dead or alive, you introduce this backstory episode of the twins,
right.
twins.
I
You
also
know,
feel too like because again, I'm the mystery is with these Jedi. Why is she hunting them down? Which, to be honest, like I don't know if it was like in the last two episodes. I think there needed to be a stronger hook
you
or
know what?
like
To
some
me,
more explanation
you
to
know what?
really get us involved.
To me, it sounds like obviously we don't know their motive, but based on this episode of Baxter, she shot down hunting down the Jedi because the Jedi might have manipulated her Osha to join and become a Jedi. Like you're taking
Right.
away the person I love the most, so I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you for that.
Well,
That's what I
also,
take from
I
that.
burst. That's another thing too that I laughed at in this episode. That I like burst out laughing because where did this even come from? When she was like, May's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you now because you're gonna go join the Jedi," and you're like, "Whoa, where the fuck did this come from?"
Yeah, yeah. Like
Like, like I get that she was like,
she didn't want to lose her
was
sister, her twin
yeah, she didn't
sister.
want to lose her sister, but like, why is this kid now being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill my sister now"? It just seems like, whoa, that's really sadistic.
If
What the fuck?
if if I can't have you, nobody can. So I'm gonna kill you here.
Yeah, but for a kid to say that, that's
And
fucking nuts.
it has to like not even Anakin was that dark as a kid, man.
No, yeah, that's why I'm like, whoa, where to be honest, that jump I don't think was like a great jump. Like I wonder too, I hope that that's
I
explained or there's
that's the
something
reason
to
for the
that.
fire. Because they explained in the first two episodes that May is the reason why that their parents died and the whole I guess
Right.
the whole clan died, the whole the coven. If the
The
riches are called a
witches,
coven,
yeah.
yeah, the coven died. But like that's the reason why. I thought it was something else.
Yeah, I don't know, the way like I said, I feel like right now to be honest, I don't think this is a great weekly show. This is another thing too I want to
No,
say. I think this should have been like a binge show or something because something here is not really working very well. Like it's not like with the mystery, like you want like every episode to give you like a little bit of something where you're like, oh, I'm starting to really see the full picture, or I think I know I'm on a certain path. With this show, I'm just like straight up confused. Like I have no, like I have some idea of like
okay.
maybe where it could go, but I don't know if that's where it's actually gonna go.
Well, the grass will come in a few minutes.
Okay.
He knows a lot more about this mess. I can admit that, and I know you can admit that too because it's obvious. We just
Yeah, I'm also like curious too, like how like like people who are not super invested into Star Wars are watching this and like some people I see like on threads are like, yeah, this is awesome. This is what I wanted. And I'm like, I don't know.
why
This just seems really like I don't it's not like I'm completely against this thing. I just don't know.
I I did like the concept, the idea of two siblings
Right.
being opposite on the opposite end of the spectrum, wherever. I did like the
Mhm.
idea. I, I still like the idea for certain. I mean, it's just execution, the story, and it's the way how they. It just makes it sound like May is just again. May is just doesn't want to lose Osha, and
Right.
Osha,
But then she's like, I don't know, for a kid to be like, I'm gonna kill you,
yeah,
it's not it it's really weird. It doesn't like when a kid says that, there's some serious deep-rooted issues going on. When I
yes,
feel like when an adult says it, like I mean, yes, it is also as bad when an adult says it, but I think it takes on a different meaning when a kid says it. Because when a kid says it and they mean it, that's really horrifying because you're like,
That's
what the fuck happened? Right?
it's.
And with this, I just feel like that jump, like I wish it was you could see it a little bit more where she's like really resistant to her sister.
Mm-hmm.
It was just more like, oh no, like um, oh, why can't you just be with me and we're, screw the Jedi stuff. We're supposed to be together. We're sisters, right? But
Which
not
they
to go
would.
like,
They
oh
want to
yeah, I'm
take.
gonna kill you because of that now.
They want
It's
to
like,
take her sister to May.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. As a kid, I don't think you would just straight up jump to, like I said, unless
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason, because I'm guessing there is a reason for that happening. Because there's no way in hell she just jumped to that conclusion. It's just so weird. It's so weird where you're like, okay, yeah, there has to be definitely something going on with this. And also too, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know who to really root for. I don't know any like everything feels weird. The Jedi feel really weird in the show. And I've never really been a fan of Jedis in general. I think the whole idea is kind of creepy and weird, if I'm being honest. So I never really related to it, even though people are like, "Oh yeah, they're like monks in space," and I'm like, "Yeah, but Buddhism isn't this fucking radical. Like,
Buddha's
what the fuck?"
most Buddhism is actually very very more peaceful than
Yeah,
this.
way more peaceful than
Eh,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
This just seems like a straight up cult where you're like, yeah, we're taking away kids
it's
and stuff.
well, Jedi is a religion. It's basically a cult of religion, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, it is a religion, but
yeah,
it's still, I don't know. I mean, that's how it is. I'm saying for that reason, I've never really been interested, and that's why I don't really care for the whole like Jedi
and
versus the Sith, because I'm like, well, I don't know, they seem kind of both wrong. And I'm
yeah.
not, there's no intrigue there for me personally. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the show. It's a mixed bag, I would say.
I
Especially this last episode.
yeah. This last episode is. I mean, like May was it had they make it's just uh they wanted May also the Jedi. She could have gone with the Jedi.
Yeah.
I guess she just wanted to stay and wanted her sister to stay.
But I
Um,
get where she was coming from. It's like, yeah, this is our family. Why are you
yeah,
gonna leave? And that's why I'm like, yeah, the relatability seems kind of
yeah,
off. Where you're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's a little kid. This is her family. Why are the Jedi's taking her away? Oh yeah, it's just because you're special. And it's like, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have to have known obviously that the Jedi are the heroes, they're the good
yeah.
guys, they're the badasses. But like, I don't, if you never knew any of that stuff, it would just seem kind of weird. You would be like, oh, that seems wrong, doesn't it?
I read. Yeah, the Jedi's always did that, right? Always take kids that had
But I'm
the
saying
force
if you
tested.
were if you were to like, let's just say, which I know this won't apply to this is only going to apply to very few people. But let's say you've never watched Star Wars and this show somehow is your introduction to Star Wars.
Oh,
Yeah, this
you're
would be really bad, a bad
no,
introduction, right?
no, no,
Because
no.
you would be like, you'd be creeped out, weirded by some stuff. You'd be like, well, okay, yeah, just because she's special, why is she going with the Jedi? And I get it. This is all like, established lore. This is how it is. But I don't know. They make it seem really weird,
No.
and you're like, I don't know how to feel about any of this stuff. Um, yeah, it's meh.
No, no, yeah. Don't if you're trying to get a Star Wars, this is not the show for you. None of Disney Plus shows are the show
No.
for you.
I
It's the
think the
movie.
Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian is okay, I guess. If you're like just want something similar to the movies, but like I said, I'm not. I really don't care for Star Wars lore. It's not something I'm interested in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm a person who does like lore, right?
Star
I've
Wars
talked about Fallout and stuff like that, but Star
Star Wars
Wars,
lore did
eh,
not get Star Wars lore did not get really important until Disney said, "Yeah, this stuff is canon and this stuff is not."
right?
What's yeah, you go back to Frog Tony. How much is he paying you? How much is Tony paying you? uh, yeah, it's I. I think the Coven they said they didn't have any kids except those two kids in that
Right.
right
Yeah, they
and
were like conceived through
the Force, I
the
guess.
Force. It's not very clear. Like
Like Anakin, like that.
in the episode, they just say, like the one mother who's like kind of like the more aggressive one, trying to like tell them, hey, they need to be more,
I
disciplined.
when when they ask the witches who their father is, do they assume like when if they ask kids that, right? If this they ask kids who is their father,
Uh,
every time they go up to a kid who's force sensitive, if they ask who their father or mother is, because maybe they'll know because maybe they're not in the picture. Like,
right.
do they assume their father or maybe
I
mother is
think the kids
force?
know that
Yeah,
they were conceived in a different way, that they're
I'm just like a
special, right?
general kid. Like, say for example, we're force sensitive kids, blinded. We're young kids, we force sensitive, but we don't have a father or a mother, right? Either one, right?
Right.
And the Jedi finds us, right? And they ask somebody that's raising us, taking care of us. Who's like, who's the father or mother or mother? And they're like, they don't have one. Do they? But would they automatically assume before that if they did have one, the father or the mother is force sensitive at the beginning? Like, do you? Does a kid Jedi? Does a kid is a force sensitive? Does their uh, parents have to be force sensitive in order for the kid to be force sensitive?
I
Is
don't
that what
think
they're?
so. I don't think that.
That's
I
what
don't.
that's what they're trying to make it sound like, isn't it? Where they ask, "Who's your father?"
Um. Oh, when they were like standing there asking that
Yeah,
question.
same thing
I
with
think it
Qui
was
Gon.
more like, do they have a father? And
Oh,
then
do
they
they have?
said no, and then that's why they were like, well, obviously they're
Yeah. So
well,
yeah,
if you don't have a father, how were you
yeah,
conceived, right?
yeah.
Um,
Because oh yeah, that's a good point. Because Qui Gon asked Anakin the exact same question.
right. So that's my guess. So and I think they asked that question because yeah, they want like people are saying like, oh yeah, it
They
makes
want evidence for
okay, like I
confirmation.
said, I don't know much about Star Wars lore, in terms of like, oh yeah, like okay, Anakin being conceived, like that's a thing that has never happened. But you're kind of like, why? Why has that never happened before? Like you would think with the Force and how special it was, like it would happen like every, I don't know, thousands of years, right? Or every like
Yeah.
100 year, like there's a person conceived through the Force.
It's because Anakin. Well, if you want to go religious here, Anakin is supposed to be Jesus, and the mother's supposed to be
I mean,
Mary.
I get that parallel, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the thing is,
Sounds
it's a
like how it
parallel
went,
that
right?
only
You went to the
ends
other
with
road.
that. It starts and
Yeah,
ends with that.
yeah.
And they're trying to say, oh, Anakin's going to do good things, but he became an evil person
He
and
became the
only
opposite of
got
that.
redeemed when he was dead. So I don't really understand that either.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not like super attached to any of this
It's
lore. The only stuff I really like from Star Wars is, I like a few games, and
oh
obviously the
yeah.
original trilogy. Don't really care for the prequels. They're whatever. Rogue One is pretty cool, and I like Andor. That's pretty much it. And I like the first season of The Mandalorian. But everything else, yeah, I'm not like very hot on it. It's not like my favorite thing in the world. I like Star Wars mostly for the aesthetic, the
Hmm.
way how like everything looks, sounds, the original movies when you're watching it, it's a very interesting experience. It's a very simple story.
I want
So
I want to ask if the grassy comes on. Where's the
mhm.
idea for Jedi as the chosen one? Where does the idea come from in the Star Wars lore? To destroy the Sith, not
Yeah.
join it. Like, where's the idea? I
Yeah,
right?
this show also too, I think it also maybe assumes a little too much with the show, because like I said, I'm having a hard time kind of understanding, okay, like why do I care? What is the thing that I'm supposed to, hold on to and be like, okay, I care about this. This is why I'm going along with. Because I don't like Osha in the first two episodes. Again, she's sort of like she left the Jedi. She's doing her own thing,
Hmm.
and um, that's kind of it. Like I don't have like any sort of attachment to her, or like I can relate to her struggle. It's just sort of like, okay, she's an outcast. For what reason exactly, we don't really know.
Yeah, we don't know why she left.
Um, and so that's why I say like I'm so like mixed on the show, because I'm intrigued, yet I'm not invested, but I'm intrigued, so therefore I have to like kind of continue watching because I want to see where this goes. But at the same time, I'm not invested because the characters, I feel like they don't stand out to me and they don't seem fleshed out.
Ooh, wrong
So
one.
I yeah, wrong one. Yeah, this is a weird show. This is a very weird show, and the conversation around the show doesn't help because I feel like there's two sides of people just like praising it, being like, "Oh yeah, this is a great show," and then you got people who are dumping on it, and then you're like, I don't know where everybody else fits in because it feels like, what the fuck is this supposed to be?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this supposed to be for? I don't know. Is it for hardcore Star Wars fans? I guess they're always gonna watch everything Star Wars, but is that what Star Wars become? It's just for hardcore people. It's not like something you could just watch casually.
Well, to understand this stuff, I guess you kind of have to be hardcore. I think for the Disney Plus shows, you got to be a kind of hardcore Star Wars fan.
Yeah, but with this show, it's like they're
Mhm.
not like telling you, "Hey, what do I watch?" It's sort of like you're supposed to
Yes.
just know this lore already through,
Yes. Yeah.
and I don't think that really helps with anything. Um, it's because it's like, okay, am I supposed to read the High Republic books? Am I supposed to read something else? Or am I supposed to just watch the show as it is? I don't know. I don't like it's not like Marvel where you're like, okay, yes, this is you know this movie connects with this, or watch the movies that came before to understand, or you can get caught up fairly easily because it's all just within the MCU. This I feel like is borrowing different things and going in different directions and taking stuff from lore without really like saying, hey, this is you could read this or you could watch this stuff or whatever it is. Because I'm
Hmm.
lost. I'm truly lost with this show, and I don't know. I just wish it was a binge show. That's really how what I wish it was. Because the conversation is just I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. You gotta wait for Degrassi whenever it comes on.
Well, I think Perp has a stream going on, so I'm not
Hmm.
sure if when
He
that's
said he
gonna.
will join afterwards, but
Okay.
uh,
You want to pull up some reactions so we could like talk about it? Because
who you
again,
want
I
to
don't.
who you want to go up to? Like who?
Um. I mean, what are people saying on Twitter, or what are people saying?
We can't go to one tomato. Oh, there's Degrassi.
Okay.
Uh, what's up,
What's up?
Degrassi?
Still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep.
We're here. We're here. How are you tonight, man?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Well, good,
Pretty
good.
good.
I've been yelling at
Stormy.
RJ. I've been yelling at RJ on Perp Stream.
Oh,
Oh, why?
I
Why?
saw a little bit of that.
Why?
No, I'm not really yelling at him. I'm just like he's devil's advocate. So
Oh,
Right. Yeah, you guys are talking
yeah,
DC.
it's just it's just DC bullshit. It's nothing. Just the old Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo argument.
oh,
I
that's
just
Right.
not
don't.
happening.
I just
Oh,
don't buy it. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't buy it.
I don't buy it either.
I know that it's
Uh,
hard for people to fathom that somebody has
Blinded. What
two
do you don't
opposing
buy that
ideas
either, do
in their
you? Like
head. You
us?
know what I
You
mean?
don't. You don't think it's
right.
happening too, huh?
Well, I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
true.
like, yeah, I don't know what's happening. My
A
guess
lot,
is
a whole lot is
Where did the
happening
where did the Jason
real
Momoa
fast.
Lobo rumors come up again? Like, what, the stuff that came
because
out?
it was. I mean, the rumor was that they're rebooting, but it's like, well, if you're rebooting and all these other stuff are popular, I mean, I just say just. I mean, if you want
Me?
to recast Aquaman, why not? It's like you already have two movies. Like, you don't
Yeah, they're
really
big.
need a third Aquaman movie, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
I think it's really 50-50, but he is like his association with that character isn't negative in any way, right?
right,
He's
Regardless of the movie's relative failure in the face of the original's overwhelming,
he is
unexpected, and
not though.
unprecedented
right.
success, right?
His, I mean, his movies are not though. They made bank. The second one, I guess, not even close to the first one.
I mean, the Aquaman 2 it hit the
Yeah,
sequel line. So even if
yeah.
he didn't get a third movie,
Here's the thing.
that is like that gives incredible potential for them to
People,
keep him around, to just
people
stick him
like
in wherever they
Momoa.
need him, right?
People like
But,
Momoa. He's a
yeah,
likable
and
guy.
people, he would be great. He would be a great Lobo, but there's just more potential for him, and I think more satisfaction as an actor, and definitely a bigger paycheck if he has the chance to stay in that role.
I think he get a
Mm.
bigger paycheck if he stays Aquaman. I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, because it's just I don't know. I'm not particular. I don't have any skin in that game. I'm not partial to him either way. I just think the good business decision and the good creative decision, despite it being a quote reboot, is that
But
he
I
stick
feel like
around.
if Aquaman does appear in the new DC universe, I mean, it still seems like it would be a ways off. Like, it seems like a lot of these characters are a ways off. Like, even Batman seems like it's going to be
I
like,
think
what,
they're. I think they're a
2027?
lot. Yeah, yeah, but still, that's a lot sooner than I think.
Yeah.
Even now, it's going to come quick,
Okay, that's
and
true.
so much road is going to be
But can they
laid
hold
out.
off? Can they hold off major characters like Batman, Aquaman, and
I feel like
rely on
I
smaller
feel
characters
like
like
at
that,
this point they
Superman?
should. I mean, don't rush all this stuff out because
I
I think
know.
that's only going to cause problems. You might as well just drip feed this and see where this goes first. Because again, we don't. I mean, yes, you're rebooting it with James Gunn. We don't know how successful this will be. I mean, it could be,
What if
the best thing
yeah,
ever and still crash and burn, right?
yeah.
So,
What if they do the smart thing and they're just like, yeah, why don't we just go ahead and our Gotham City is is like the Batman and the Batman Part 2. That's where the DC universe starts. That's
I mean, that's what I wish they did because then I think
I
people
do
might be
too,
more
kind of.
excited.
It would definitely get a lot of shit out of the way,
Right.
and
Not with that Batman though. It needs to be more.
why not? I mean, he's
I mean, that
well, I mean,
Batman could be fantastical. It could be. It just has a style to it.
well, what I'm saying is that
That
basically it's that James Gunn and Drew Goddard and
that
whoever's.
Batman needs a better Batmobile first.
And well, here's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be a 1-to-1 thing,
Eh,
right?
Right.
It would be Robert Pattinson playing Bruce Wayne and being Batman, but and not a different version of Batman, because the thing is that it would be fucking hilarious, because if he's that straight man, but see, his Batman's got jokes though, kind of. My
Yeah,
whole
he
one,
does. He does.
the screenings that I got for the Batman in the early part of it were all I got out of that the scenes with him and Jeffrey Wright was I got just major Lethal Weapon vibes, right? And
Right.
I feel that there's a definite Lethal Weapon thing going on in Matt
that
Reeves.
Batman had no jokes. He was depressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had the
thumb
like dark
drive.
jokes. The thumb drive
Yeah,
joke.
the
Yeah.
thumb drive.
Joke.
Yeah, they were like almost.
That wasn't. Really, I guess this is only
Yeah,
joke.
he
It's a
had
different
jokes. He
kind of
had
humor.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. It's not
it
Marvel.
wasn't like set up punchline. It was
Right.
No.
the thumb drive. That was I laughed fucking out
No,
loud every time.
his his jokes is more sarcasm kind of joke.
Yeah, very sardonic, very
Yeah.
dark.
Dark.
But yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely had. There was definitely a dark sense of humor going on there.
His jokes would
Right.
be like, yeah, that's. I mean,
But just seeing
Which
him
I
like
don't
punch
mind.
Nathan, seeing
You
him
don't
punch
get that
Nathan
in
Fillion out, that would
superhero
be.
movies.
Yeah, but just imagine like, just I'm trying to think of it as like they stuck one of the Eternals in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and like they didn't change. They were just that kind of straight and just dry. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, I
the
think that would.
character.
Yeah, because like that would be hilarious, just inserting this kind of dark and brooding. And I mean, there's going to have to be some kind of element of that anyway,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But just make him it's just the same actor and the same character, and but just kind of here's how. Don't ask any questions, you know. Don't think about it too much. But this happened, right? And this is happening now, right?
Right.
Just it's just how shit is. Yes, those movies happened. Well, what happened? How do we don't? Who knows? Fill it in yourself. Read the comics. You know,
Right.
that's the thing for me is it's not that complicated. You just make it work.
Phew.
So Acolyte, you guys were talking about the Acolyte.
Yeah, we don't know how
Yeah.
we feel about like
Yeah, we're mixed on the show.
the third episode, in my opinion, is out of place. That should not have been the third episode. You should not go to the backstory, especially ending on episode 2 with the Wookiee Jedi. The third episode should have been focused on the Wookiee Jedi and May hunting him, not this backstory episode. This backstory episode could have come later on in the show.
That's usually like that's a like the third episode is generally it's a I don't want to call it a trope or a formula, but if you go a lot of TV shows when they're telling a story like this, the third or fourth episode is generally when you get the lore dump, right?
Right. I feel like it
So
should
I
have
was-
been maybe.
I feel
next
initial was
episode.
this is out of
Yeah,
place
that's what
episode.
Aaron was saying.
In this show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It works for me, I guess, because I've seen up to episode 4, and
Right.
I get it. I don't know. I like it. It's different, but it's not so different than anything that's come before. You know, get heavy Night Sisters vibes. You know,
That's what the richest.
there's definitely some. Yeah, there's definitely some Dark Force magic going on there. Very Night Sisters-y. We've got another Immaculate Conception. We don't know if it's through cloning or dark side magic. Again, I'm going to assume since they're witches, it's dark side magic, but you never know.
Right.
It's Star Wars. I can't have the fucking fire in space argument.
One blindness point is like she wants to. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, May. We were talking about how she just kind of like I don't know. I burst out laughing when that happened because I was just like, where did this come from? Like I get that she was, she was upset at her sister, but that's a drastic jump. So
Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
wondering if
We
that
saw her
is
like I know
important.
they showed her with the butterfly or whatever. She was like
Right.
basically gonna pull it apart with the force. It seemed like
she's one of those kids in real life that has
yes, that's what I'm
serial killer
saying.
vibes. Yeah.
They showed that she had these kind of dark tendencies, right?
When did
Right.
Jedi?
And I think that's why the Jedi singled Osha out over her. And
yeah,
that's why the
Well, I felt that
and
they
that's why the
singled
witches
her out more because she was the one that first came. I mean, I thought. Hold on a minute, because I'm confused now. Wasn't she the one who ran away? She was the one that ran away and was walking around in the woods. And
yeah,
her
Ulsa's the one that
sister
found
May.
her. Yeah.
May's the
No,
one
May
who
found her. Yeah, May found her.
Yeah, and she was the. That's why I was a bit confused. The butterfly was Osha.
Yeah.
Because Osha was always, and then when they were first, the
Yeah.
Jedi first showed up. Yeah, because I'm confused. That's another thing too. I see people pointing out is that why are the girls, they're twins, but they're not identical twins.
yeah.
And I know people are nitpicking that. The thing is, I do have to wonder about that too. I am assuming, my guess is it's like more of a production thing because they're kids, and I don't know how well it would go if you had one kid playing two different characters. I don't think it would work the same way with an adult actor. So that's kind of my guess as to why. Um, but regardless, I don't know. I'm not super bothered by it like a lot of other people. But
Yeah,
There's
I
people.
tend to
it
not
is
let.
something that I do
There's people
question though.
triggered with this episode.
Dude,
This episode triggered people.
I was a boy
Right.
becoming a man when Return of the Jedi came out, and I mean, I didn't hate the Ewoks, but I was like, the fuck.
Huh.
Come on, man. They could have been Wookiees. Like, I don't get it. Why weren't they Wookiees? What,
Right.
you know? I mean, he kind of sold it.
Mini Wookiees.
He kind of sold. Yeah, he
Baby
kind of
Wookiees.
sold. No, but he kind of sold us. He kind of. I mean, he would be at cons and he'd be like, and I imagine maybe like a battle on the Wookiee planet. It's like, okay, dude, don't tell us that and not deliver, and then give us 5 minutes 25 years later.
Oh man.
I'm just always going to be pissed at George Lucas. People don't understand, and I'm like, yeah, you weren't there. You don't know. All right, I'm going to replay this and see.
Yeah, tell me, because I was getting them mixed up sometimes.
I'm pretty sure.
But I know
you're right,
Osha was
Yeah.
the one who steps out with the Jedi, and I think that's why.
Yeah, I know, but she was the one. I mean, I think they were watching them both, but see what I got out of it was. What I got out of was that the sisterhood or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Excuse me. The coven had chose the one that had shown more potential with the dark side, right?
Right.
And the Jedi had chosen the one who had the most potential with the light side.
Right.
And that's just kind of how I saw it playing out.
Well, I see that too. But I just think they singled her out. It was they singled her out because, again, there was that emphasis on her, Osha, at least.
Remember,
from
it's not
the start of the episode.
They call it remember, they don't call it the Force. The Witch calls it the thread.
Yeah, the Night
Right.
Sisters in the Clone Wars are rebels.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
called it the thread too. It's these
Remember.
women are either remnants or an offshoot of the Night Sisters. And then Leslie Haslam said, "Yes, I was heavily influenced by the Night Sisters." And they've got red ribbons tied around them like the Night Sisters have. Right. So, and their cloaks they look like burlap, but they're definitely have like a maroonish. So yeah, they're definitely. So no, they're both in the woods, right? I'm watching it now. And Osha is
the one. Is she singing the walk or something?
Is she the one with the butterfly?
Yeah,
the little butterflies are right. The butterflies are coming to her.
Yeah.
And then May
shows up. You're not supposed to be in the woods. Remember?
Yeah.
May said you're not supposed to be in the woods.
Osha was running away because she was the one who was like, yeah, I don't want to be a witch.
Osha wanted to join the Jedi because because the woods perfectly explained it right. She's not supposed to be in the woods because she has that open mind to see what's out there in the world, in the galaxy, right? That's why she was leaning towards the Jedi, right? Because they could do that for her. They have a ship.
But this is why I was saying.
May's trying to. Looks like May's going to try to pull one of these. Osha's like trying to get one to land on her.
Right? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when May comes in, she takes that one, and then when another one comes, she's like looks at it kind of scarily and puts both hands out, and then Osha tells her to stop. So they do kind of play with that Osha's the kind of the innocent good one, and May's the kind of devious.
She's the devious one, but I still feel like her just jumping to I'm gonna kill my own sister after most of the episode was, no, please don't do this because we're gonna get separated. I'm like, whoa, like you're gonna kill your sister?
Yeah, I think. Well, no, I don't think
that was a big jump.
I know that one of my little brothers probably told me that they were going to kill me at some point, or they wished I was dead when we had some kind of row.
It was
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
remember,
kids say that, but
Kids-
like she was
yeah.
burning the fucking place down saying that. So you're
Yeah.
Look,
like,
I
oh,
don't. Did she
shit.
mean? Did she really? She just meant to burn the book, right? I mean, I don't think she meant to burn the entire fucking.
no, she meant
Well,
to
I
burn
mean,
her sister.
the way that it's shown to us, it's like I'm gonna kill you, and then she locks her in
No.
the room and
Yeah.
then burns the place.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're like, oh
I
shit.
totally read it wrong. I thought she dropped it.
Yes.
You hear her drop. She catches the book on fire, and then you
No.
hear her drop it and scream.
She wanted to burn her sister.
She locks the room, right? And then she pulls
Yeah.
out this thing. I don't know where
It's a
came
little torch
from.
on the wall. Yeah.
Yes, and then she burns the door, and then she
Yeah.
runs, and then the sister's trapped in there screaming, and then she's like, oh, okay, there's this like little panel that she opens, and then she crawls through, and then she's
Yeah.
it was weird. It was like the fire then started sweeping everywhere, which also makes me think that that is like something else was going on too, because you're like, okay, how did the fire get to this location? And then she comes out, and then she sees May, and then she's like, oh, they killed May
Don't cover
kills
it. Burns-
May says they killed Mama, and she's like, what? And then that's when the the bridge breaks or whatever, and they're like screaming and stuff. So that's why I'm like,
I gotta
okay, there's
turn this
something
up.
else going on with the with
Well,
the
I
sh-
think there is. I'm not gonna
yeah,
get
that's the
into it.
part where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so
there's-
look, she's mesmerized by the fire. She set the book on
Right.
fire. Hold on a second.
Do you think
Hold
one
on,
of the
let me- I'm trying to.
one of the Jedi was on the
Yeah, she
Red
didn't.
Hold
Rock?
on.
She dropped. She didn't mean to start that fire. She meant to set the book on fire because you hear her.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
she.
because I was watching and I just felt like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't think she meant for that to happen.
Stuck here now. It's not up to you. You can't stop.
But
me.
what was the point of making the book on fire in this?
Kill you.
Because weird little kids do shit like that, man. If she's willing to tear an animal apart or whatever, she's more than willing to start a fire. I don't think she intended.
No, she's like heat wave. My God, she's heat wave from.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I read it. I don't think that she really meant to kill everyone or whatever.
I don't think she meant to kill
my
everyone
guess
either.
is that
Just
yeah,
her sister.
she's
I don't even think she meant to kill her sister. I don't.
Okay,
The way I'm reading this scene is that
This you can hear right now.
don't. I mean, there's
so yeah.
It's not like there's,
Okay. So
there's not like there are
the
going to be more
butterfly scene.
flashbacks.
You guys-
The butterfly
you're
scene
on it
was
too, Blinded?
OSHA in the beginning. Yeah, I'm watching
Yes.
it too. OSHA
Yes,
was in the
and
beginning.
she's guiding the thing to her hand, right?
Yes, she is.
Well,
and
she's
then-
like toying with it. Yeah, guiding it to
Yes.
her hand or whatever. It looks
Yes.
weird though. Yeah, it looks.
And then, but when OSHA comes, the second
Or
time she
May-
grabs one. I mean, yeah, when May comes, the second
Yeah.
time she grabs one, it's distressed. And then
Well, I
OSHA
don't
tells her
know.
to
It
stop.
just. I think both of them. I don't know. Both of them did the exact same thing. I didn't feel like either or was like bad or good or like one was trying to like strangle the
like I
other.
said, it's just me. I got everything that May did. I got not nefarious intentions, but like she lacked control, and that if she didn't have her sister to tell her to check
Right.
herself, they're a dyad. They're literally balanced. So, yeah.
And then
Yeah, she didn't
okay,
mean-
so then
yeah,
so yeah, she gets the book. Yeah. The book with the drawing.
Yeah.
And then she looks at the book because I was like, this is kind of sadistic. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, doesn't she look like she's almost entranced? Like,
Yeah.
She does look kind of entranced, especially when she's looking at the fire. It looks
Yeah.
very like
yeah, she's
and then yeah, so then she sets the book on fire. And then yeah, the OSHA's like she's like, where someone's help. I need help.
So,
And then the
yeah,
door's on
that's
fire.
just my interpretation is that
so what happened
she's not
was
trying
the book-
to kill her sister. It's
the
just
book was on fire, managed to hit the main reactor thing in the temple that caused
Well, I don't
thing.
really know what. All I know is she's gone. The door's on fire. She said she was gonna kill her, and I'm like, holy shit! Like that's a big jump. It does like there is something else going on because the mother is one of the mothers is you don't see her body. So I'm like, okay, and May, who saved May? That's another thing too. So that's why I'm like, okay, there's obviously more stuff going on,
Oh yeah,
and
and there'll
that's
be more. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's only the
obviously.
third episode, and there's
Like,
yeah, we're still. It's
But
uh,
what we were saying is I feel like this episode really should have been like there should have been another episode in the present and then do this because it is a little bit like okay, where
I
is this exactly going? I'm still
that is seen the first
kind of
episode.
confused.
That first episode,
trust me, it'll wash out. We're still.
and in that first episode, we saw at the end made a supposed Sith. If it's a Sith, do you think Sith was on Brandok at the time?
What the yeah, that I don't know. I couldn't even speculate.
Well, it's how because we know May survived, right?
Well, I mean that's obviously who's been training her, or they've
Yeah.
been training together for a
She's
while.
She's not a Sith though. Otherwise, she would.
And I'm not. And I think that person, whoever that person looks. Well, this is about the. I mean, this is when the Sith. We see the reemergence. We know that.
Yes.
The end of the High Republic is the reemergence of the Sith,
Yes. Yes.
or the not reemergence, but the reawakening.
Yeah, reawakening.
Of the Sith.
Yeah.
So,
But is that
but that
what the
mask-
show is going to be about? Because if you don't,
yeah. That's part of it. Yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's the end of the High Republic. This is the end of the High Republic and the reawakening of the Sith. That's always been the intention of the show. And
I feel
it's also part of a greater storytelling initiative that runs through comics and books and children's books. And so it's not just like this. Yeah, it's not just about, they're trying to do more than sell you a TV show with this and toys.
right. I get that, but I feel like if I was again someone who's not like super deep into the lore and I haven't read any of the High Republic comics or
and
really
you don't have
know
to.
what's going on.
You don't have that. There's really no need to. That's the
right.
thing
But
that's beautiful about
I
it.
feel like it kind of like with the show. I feel like maybe they should have set up like in the first 3 episodes that era a little bit more because it's like I'm dropped into the world. We're kind of like it's either the episodes need to be a little bit longer or we need to like see a little bit more of what's going on in this era for a little bit because again I'm kind of like I just feel confused. That's the main message I want to put out. Watching these 3 episodes, I'm not like everybody else where it's either like I see a lot of people praising it and they're like, this is what I always wanted, or this is like the feel that I want from Star Wars. And then there's people who just like absolutely hate it. I just feel confused. Like I feel like kind of like, okay, I'm intrigued, but I'm also not 100% invested in what's going on. Especially
I haven't read any of the High Republic comics. This is my introduction to the High Republic.
Right. Okay then.
So but it has. I'm shopping for trades. I'm gonna see if there are any trade paperbacks of any of the comics, the collections. I think IDW has some, and then Marvel has some. So, 100 years before the rise of the Empire, it is the time of peace. The Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic have prospered for centuries without war, but in the dark corners of the galaxy, a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. One of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to secret bang. I mean, that pretty much.
This is 100 years for the rise of the Sith, rise of the end of High Republic, 100 years of peace. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a Lord of the Rings thing. It's been 1,000 years of peace and Sauron's defeat. All of a sudden, Sauron's coming back. Yeah.
Lucas, I'm pretty sure that's on Lucas's list of influences. Right?
Was George Lucas was he a religious person?
I don't believe so. I believe his family was. I mean, like his parents and stuff. They might have been.
Because he's a lot of stuff in his films is very religious influence, man.
Yeah, but I think it's all like Eastern mysticism and shit. It's not like real.
Well, we all know what Anakin is supposed to represent of, right? We all know that.
Well, I don't even think that. I think it's I don't think he's supposed to represent Jesus at all, or Moses, or any kind of messianic figure. I've never thought that about Anakin. Even with the direct, like there was no father and immaculate conception shit. No, I never.
His son Luke and Leia are biblical names.
We still really kind of don't know how.
And
I mean, it's kind of like in the shooting script, it's Palpatine straight up tells him, "I created you." You know,
created who? Anakin?
Yeah, in the shooting script for Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine tells Anakin, "I created you using the dark side of the Force." And we can either, like I said, with these girls, I'm going to reasonably assume that they were either conceived through dark side magic or they're clones. So,
right.
I think it's dark side magic.
Well, okay, so
I do too, but I like to keep everything my options open.
Yeah.
Right. Then how come
it could be
why because I was saying this because I don't know the answer to this and I wanted an answer. Why are people so against the idea that there was a birth that was not,
Oh,
because it's two women.
It's two women.
I mean, that's really it. Because we were like, oh, it goes against the lore, and I'm like, okay, so Anakin.
No, it's because it's. Well, how is it against the lore?
It's not.
Yeah, because that's what that's why I'm asking. Because I'm like, everywhere I go, there seems like no one has this answer.
No, it's because it's two women that love each other that somehow. I said I'm pretty sure in real life there's been a coven of warrior witches who conceived through. Hold on, let me pull up what I wrote.
Right.
Just because it sounds better than what I'm going to say.
Nobody had this problem. Nobody had this problem with when Wanda was able to conceive child through her reality-based powers because it was Vision's kids too. Remember?
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
See, because Vision's a man, even though Vision is technically a robot, an android.
I'm sure there's a group of lesbian warrior witches out there in real life who practice artificial insemination and call it immaculate conception.
Yeah.
Now this was before.
Yeah.
This was as the second episode of The Acolyte was airing.
Right.
It's called magic.
Yeah, it's one of those things that anybody that's mad about it, right, is mad about it because of it's two women.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And regardless if it was through space magic.
Yeah, it's not even explaining its entirety. We still don't know.
No, she says, I carried them, and then the other one says, yeah, but I created them. And then she says, and if the Jedi knew how you created them, whatever, there would be consequences. I forget what she says exactly, but so however they're created was somehow unnatural. The Jedi are there looking. She straight up tells them. Trinity straight up tells them we're here because we have evidence that you have
children. Yes.
Yeah. And if you guys are dark side, if you guys are using the Force or the thread or whatever you want to call it, and you're training children, we're Jedi and we have to know that.
It seems like Jedi doesn't have jurisdiction because that planet is not part of the High Republic.
Well, I don't think there's I don't know, man. Here's the deal. I got to be straight up with you. Oh, this is a little rant, okay? I love Star Wars. Any Star Wars is good Star Wars for me, right? I don't care how bad it is. I'm going to eat it up. And it's not me being just throwing out any of my personal integrity or you know what I mean? It's just it's just some shit that gives me fucking warm fuzzies and I can turn my brain off and watch it and I'm not overthinking shit,
Right.
So, when all we had was 3 movies, man, and we had a short cartoon and the Christmas special, right? when that was literally all we had for years. The Marvel comics were their own thing. You didn't know, even when we were reading those when they were coming out as kids, we knew that none of that stuff would matter if he ever made more movies. We understood that, you know, and like there were shit like there are 3 novelizations that are based on those 3 movies, and there's just shit in those books that just makes fucking beautiful and perfect sense that he himself never should have retconned, right? Like that, like Obi-Wan and Uncle Owen were brothers, right? Mm-hmm. And that when Obi-Wan spirited the twins away, okay, that he took them to his brother on Tatooine, right? And in the Return of the Jedi novelization, that black tunic and or that black getup that Luke had on, right?
Yeah.
That was the uniform, so to speak, of a Jedi, right? Not a Tatooine fucking sand farmer. Why do all the Jedi look like fucking sand farmers? Yeah, like, I thought that was just
desert clothing, right?
Clothing. I always thought that was just Obi-Wan's like, I'm hiding out in the desert hermit costume, right? I didn't know that was. Oh well, everybody dressed. Everybody on this planet looks like fucking Jedi. Everybody.
Red. This is no red.
That's always rubbed me the wrong way when they showed them all in the sand farming costumes in the prequels. I was like, what the fuck? What did you do, George? Why is everybody a sand farmer?
Bruh.
Even
some shit like that. Like, why change that? Doesn't that make like almost perfect and beautiful sense? Like, why wouldn't the Jedi?
He wanted to do it his way. That's why.
I respect that. I get that. It's just so I've had issues with shit that since I was a little boy, and I'm like, that's why I'm kind of nonchalant about shit because I dealt with it at a very young age.
This is Degrassi. Don't ever compare him to Sturgis, please.
That's me? Why would he compare me to Sturgis? I don't even know who fucking Sturgis is.
You don't. Okay, that's good. That's good. You don't know it because he's an idiot, Sturgis. What's his name is Degrassi.
Oh, is he talking about me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about your profile picture.
Your profile picture.
That's
yes. That's.
What the hell is that ape's name? God damn it.
Dr. Zaius?
No, that's not Dr. Zaius. No. That's
from the original, right? That's from the first movie?
That's from the that's from the last of the original
the last
60s and 70s apes movies. That's from Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And that's Paul Williams. Paul Williams is a singer and songwriter. He wrote and sings he did the soundtrack for the Muppet movie. The Rainbow Connection. That's the guy who wrote the Rainbow Connection.
Oh, okay.
Paul Williams, singer-songwriter. He played an ape in the final Planet of the Apes movie, and he was booked to be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and which was he was filming on that movie on the same lot that the Tonight Show taped, right?
Oh yeah.
And he was booked to be on the Tonight Show. And they were shooting over schedule that night, that afternoon. So he did the Tonight Show in his apes makeup, and he came out smoking a cigarette and did a Frank Sinatra song, and then went and did an interview with Johnny on the couch with Johnny.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of apes and monkeys, I was reading to my 5-year-old cousin today, right, a book on Curious George and how the man in the yellow hat found George. I'm like, oh my god, this guy, he basically poached George from Africa.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, but you know why we did this skit in my little college troops where you know why the man in the yellow hat wears that yellow hat and the long coat is because all George does is piss and shit everywhere. So he's got to.
he's a walking banana. Oh!
No, because George is pissing on him and flinging his shit, so he's got to wear a raincoat and hat.
Also, in that same book, George was smoking a pipe.
Oh yeah. Like I think they've taken some Curious George stories out of print because they're straight up just
They're
problematic.
not. Yeah, I'm like, what
Damn.
the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I reading this to a
Crazy.
5-year-old kid? This is not appropriate.
But see, that's the thing. When I was a kid, we had like there's some dark shit. I think there's a way to do it, you know,
Yeah.
dark and borderline inappropriate, subversive kind of material, you know, that just kind of skirts the edge. That it's just subversive enough not to piss parents off, you know.
That's what they say about Disney cartoon movies. You're hiding something, right? There's like some little.
Oh
mystery.
yeah, but that's the animators. It's not like
Yeah, it's the animated. Yeah.
it's not like it's a conspiracy by the corporation
Corporations,
to
yeah.
put
I mean,
subversive
I can
images in their cartoons.
I can
It's
understand why
animators trying to one up each other.
I can
you
understand
know.
why the next Snow White movie, they probably wouldn't have the prince kiss Snow White because technically that could look really, really bad now.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they're doing it. I mean, I think it's funny that everybody's like, "There's not even going to be dwarves in it," and I'm like, "Yeah, they are."
There's not gonna be
Yeah, they
clowns.
are.
Well, I don't think they will ever do Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping. Fuck.
No, I
Did he
think
do
they
live
will.
action sleep? Isn't that not
Think they will.
Magnificent?
Oh
It's
yeah,
Magnificent, isn't
they
it?
will.
Sleeping Beauty is Magnificent, basically. Isn't it? The Angela Lee
yeah.
movies. Yeah.
Magnificent?
They're doing a third one, right? I thought they're doing a third Magnificent movie.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Maleficent is the arch enemy. Maleficent is the Sleeping Beauty villain. Well, not in the movies. The villain.
Okay.
She's not a villain anymore, right? In the movies, she's a good guy now. They made her a good guy, right? I think.
I've
I'm
never
sorry, what's that,
watched
Aaron?
any of the I can't even say it. Holy.
I gotta
Yeah.
go here in a minute. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
They watched any of the what now? I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Movies. The Maleficent.
Oh yeah, I've never
Melissa,
seen them.
yeah.
I think my wife's watched them, yeah, but I've never seen them. I'm gonna pour through these the first 2 episodes of the Acolyte because I'm still entirely convinced we don't have a Fight Club situation going on here, and that May isn't really dead, and they're just. But they did show her outside with. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't think she's dead because you don't see her fall in that 3rd episode. So I'm like, I think the mother.
No, I mean
This
we
is my
see her.
guess.
They show her coming out of the woods.
And she seems
Yeah,
fine,
at the
too.
ending. But I mean, when Soul saves Osha,
Yeah.
he goes for her, and you're like, well, what happened to May? So
I think she just
my
fell down
theory
a
is
hole
that. No, this is my theory. I think the
You think he
the
let her
other
die?
mother,
Oh.
the other, because you don't see the other mother's body. So
Yeah, but
I'm
they
guessing that.
wouldn't she have stayed with May though? Wouldn't they have stayed together? Would she have saved her? And then
Oh.
Well,
scrambled?
that's what I'm trying to say. That she
The
saved
alien
May.
mother.
She
The
when
alien
May.
mother.
Yeah, the
The
alien.
stricter one. The stricter one.
Yeah, the strict one. She's the one who saves May when she falls. So Soul saves Osha, and then the mom. That's my theory. That's my theory. I don't know what. But I'm gonna continue watching it, even though I'm like.
You.
mixed
Yeah,
on
you
it.
should. I can't. I mean, I don't. I honestly, for me, I like it. I don't think it's as bad as everyone thinks it is. I've seen one more episode than anybody else I've talked to.
Right. It has its flaws, but like I said, I'm intrigued to see what actually happens. It's just that again, like the characters, I'm not like super invested in. I'm just like, how does this all like, you know, what's the ending to this? Where does this actually go? Because there's some stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm interested with the Jedi. Like, why is she hunting down these Jedi? And all the other questions that were kind of like scratching our heads, going like, well, what does this mean? Or
And it's a who done it. That's
right.
what we're watching. A who done it. There's I think we might have talked about this before. There's 2 kinds of formats for television mysteries. There's the who done it and the how catch 'em. And the who done it.
So it's okay.
This one kind of feels like it's a mix of both. The who done it is, you're experiencing it with the investigators or the police or the lawyers or the court, the jury, and you're trying to figure out along with them, right?
We never really had.
But then a how catch 'em
We
is like
never
when
really
the
had.
show
Like
opens.
we never really had like an
Right.
undercover Sith in Star Wars. We had
no.
an undercover politician as a Sith, but we never seen a live action undercover Sith.
Well, we've never seen a Jedi,
Yeah,
but well, I guess we kind of. I got it because there's so much Star Wars now that I got.
I mean,
There's probably
like a
forgotten
Sith
more than I
posing as a
remember.
Jedi, like a Sith posing as a
Right.
Jedi.
I mean, that would be
Well,
cool
yeah.
to see that because then you're like, oh shit, yeah. You know, they
So
gotta
but
be
a How
interesting
Ketchum
choice.
would like a Matlock. A How Ketchum would show you the murder, who did it. Like the opening of the show would be showing you the murder and who the murderer is, and you know.
Yep.
So and
You
nobody
listen-
else in the show. You know, and the murderer knows, but nobody else.
Degrassi. Did you watch the real
He
Arnett?
did it. You know what I'm saying?
Degrassi, did you watch the Will Arnett Netflix show when he had like celebrity guests on and he goes on he plays a detective?
No, I don't think I did. I think that's another one my wife watched and I didn't.
Yeah, so at the end of the show, right? There's like three suspects, and whoever celebrity it is, has to say which one is the killer. That's what they do with Star Wars. Who is the one behind this all?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way these TV mysteries work is it's typically somebody, whoever was behind that mask, we had seen them before.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna.
We know, because we always know, like, who's hiding behind a mask. We see them a lot in the show, right? We see them a lot.
Yeah. Unless they just throw a curveball like it's Palpatine or something at us, you know.
Yeah, we know. They do in horror movies all the time. In Scream, they show us we don't know who the killer is, but we know we've seen the killer. We don't know who it is until the end, but we know, but we've seen the reveal at the end, but we actually see the person in this movie for most of the time in Scream.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they do, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, that's how these mysteries typically unfold.
Yeah.
Is that you know who, or you've seen the person that they're hiding. So
it's usually the least person you suspect, right? Like the least you suspect.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how they telegraph it, because they have to telegraph it sub. You don't want to.
In this case, the least person you suspect.
Show your hand.
In this case, the least person you suspect would be Saul, obviously.
Yeah. So that's probably who it is. It's probably Saul.
Yeah, if it is Saul. Did I bring this up the other day? What if it's Saul?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like because like he's the one character I think we generally like the one the most. I don't blindly like Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't want him to be revealed as potentially the bad guy. The guy.
That would be pretty. That's good.
Well, that'd be interesting.
It would be,
but
that'd
be like, okay, well.
What if he's Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Oh well, Darth Plagueis is not that wise enough to fall asleep. Because that's what Sidious did. Sidious killed him.
Yeah. Ooh, animated Batmobile tomorrow. God, you're killing me, buddy.
I checked the bio of Sidious. There's not a lot of Plagueis. There's not a huge bio of Plagueis. Not much.
No, because there's no canon. There's not a lot. There's no canon material on him.
Oh, the only thing canon about him is Revenge of the Sith. Basically.
Yeah. There's very little. I think there's some blurbs and some novels and stuff, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
definitely a gap they want to fill in one day, I'm sure.
Yeah, because it makes it so interesting, right?
Lollipop chainsaw.
It usually sounds like a Sith kills their master, and usually the chain how the.
Yeah. It's like the mirror universe in Star Trek. The only way you can get command of a starship is to kill your way up the chain of command.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I gotta go, fellas. I hate to cut and run, but
it's okay.
I'll look and see if you guys are still on here in a little bit, but
I don't know. It's almost. I was only 11:15, so something.
Yeah, it's still early for me. So, but if I got a few things to do once I'm done, if you guys are still on, I'll look for it.
I wasn't originally going to do this stream, but I guess since I do the episode 1 to 3, I guess I have to do more of these on the show.
Yeah. I just hang in there. I think it's going to be pretty satisfying when it's all said and done. If I'm wrong, shoot me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know. because I know you won't shoot me, but you know what I mean.
The
You guys have
traffic-
a great night. I'll look for you here shortly if you're still
Yeah.
on.
I don't know if
All
it's
right.
still on. I don't know.
All right, later, fellas.
Later,
Peace.
later, man. Yeah, later, Degassi.
I'll be listening though. I'll be listening.
Well,
So don't
it-
talk shit about me.
we had tornadoes we had tornadoes near us today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun, man. I know all about it.
Oh, we get small tornadoes. Still not good.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't believe in small tornadoes. They're all big tornadoes, even the small ones. But be safe, man.
Just a time for twisters, tornadoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually want to see it. I can't lie. I don't. I mean, I'm not gay or nothing, but that Glenn Powell, man. If I was,
Stop.
if
Oh.
I were, what is that? Orgasmo, the
Yeah.
South Park guys movie when the
Yes.
I won't sound gay or nothing, but I'd suck that
I'll
dude's
go
dick.
gay for you. I'll go gay for him. Yeah. I heard that term.
I don't want to sound gay or nothing, but that dude's got a hot ass.
Yeah. Or
Don't clip that out.
Or reverse thing. I'll go straight for this person. I heard that.
Was it in True Romance? Christian Slater, the girl asks him if you had to be gay for anybody, who would you be gay? He goes, Elvis.
You know what's funny? I feel like No Way Home. No, Spider-Man Civil War was a sequel to the Marissa Tomei Robert Downey Jr. movie back in the 90s.
It could be. That's why I want Joe Pesci to be Uncle Ben if they ever do flashbacks.
Oh, can you imagine Uncle Pesci is Uncle Ben? Yo, Peter, great responsibility comes to
Instead of my cousin Vinny, it would be my Uncle Ben.
my Uncle Ben. Can you imagine him saying, you got a problem with that? Why are you laughing? You think that's funny? Peter, you think that's funny? Oh, no, I can't do it. I can't do Joe Pesci anymore.
All right, fellas. I'll look
Take
for you
care.
here shortly. I got to roll.
Bye.
Later, man.
Bye. Actually, that's pretty funny. Blinded. Joe Pesci is Uncle Ben. That'll never happen though. But back to Star Wars or Acolyte. Now, the Acolyte.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm still here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. The Acolyte obviously refers probably to the villain. Acolyte and his follower. Like I said, do you think that Sith, whoever it is among the four? So do you think it's possible that the first two Jedi, if you've seen the first two episodes, Carrie Ann Moss's character Isadora and Torben, do you think it's more possible that one of them faked their death? And it turns out one of them is the actual Sith. One secretly training May. Or we just haven't been introduced to somebody who is the Sith, but maybe somebody that's known to the Jedi. Maybe it's a former Jedi, or maybe it's like someone pretending to be secretly embed the Jedi or something like that. It may not be like somebody's not in the Sith costume, not obvious. Kind of like how Palpatine was kind of hiding under the illusion of being the senator. Right, Sidious is hiding under the illusion of being a Senator Palpatine, right? Maybe that Sith that's obviously training May. Maybe that Sith is somebody like that too, is pretending to be somebody that will eventually meet that maybe the Jedi trusts. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's interesting because it's not Darth Maul, guys. It's not Darth Maul. Don't worry. Darth Maul wasn't around then. It should be funny if it was Darth Maul. They should make a Darth Maul prequel movie. No, I'm kidding.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer all that. Give me 1 more second.
Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Wash my
I'm
hands.
back too.
All right. Did you hear what you heard? What I said, right?
Yes, that was also a theory that I heard. People think Carrie and Moth. Oh my God,
Carrie and Moss.
and
I think
Moth.
is her
Yeah,
from
yeah. It's
Michigan.
like
Yeah.
yeah, people are saying that it's kind of weird that she dies first.
Yeah.
Maybe
Isadora as a character.
yeah, maybe it's like a fake out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Of course, like it could be one of those four. I unless there's a fifth member they purposely hid from us. I I I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question, man. I I now I'm leaning towards it's not in the four. I don't think it's any of the four.
I think it's
But
the mother. I really do think it's the mother.
yeah, because here's the thing: the mother really wanted them to be initiating the coven. Both of them, right? Both of them. And May and Osha kind of did not want to be in the coven. She wanted to become a Jedi. No, May wanted to become in the coven a witch. It was Osha that wanted to become a Jedi. May wanted to become a witch, right, and initiate into the coven, right, which the mother wanted, right. The mother did not. That mother did not agree with the other mother who let Osha do her own thing, right. She said you can make a decision yourself, right. Um, right. The mothers did not agree, right. They had different view agreements. They did not agree on that OSHA should leave them, right? They felt like she should
Right.
stay with us, right? She should stay with us.
Well,
So
and also too, one of the things that I noticed in this episode was that again, I don't remember her name. I wish I did, but the strict mother was
yeah,
not actually very attentive to the kids. Like they don't actually share a scene together besides
in the beginning, really.
besides really the beginning. She doesn't really have a lot of interactions with them in this episode. So
She
that's
did.
that's why I really think it is that mom, because it's like, she was the one that was very pushy, and I mean, we don't really.
And she wanted them to be both in part of the coven, not go to the Jedi. And May wanted the exact same thing to be part of the coven too.
Right.
And
And
Osha
like I said,
wanted.
why did this little girl just immediately go to, you know, killing and burning down? That's why I'm like, okay, there's something.
Off with her.
Like people are like, okay, it's bad writing. I would say some of the dialogue is a bit
Uh-huh.
clunky, little bit weird. I don't think the characters, um, like I'm just sort of like, okay, where are they gonna go? I'm not really seeing a pattern here, because it's like we just had 2 episodes of Osha going like, oh yeah, I'm not a Jedi anymore, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, okay, we were kind of mistaken, I guess, but still, there's not really, we haven't really known why she left, but it
Yeah.
is something to do about, yeah, her mother dying, and you're, I don't know, this is why I say like the Jedi are so weird, because
Do you
they're like, oh, you have to let
do
go of
you
grief, and you're like, yeah, but that's not
remember? So May, do you think it's possible May did not somebody else kill the Covenant, and the frame and she thinks the Jedi did it, and somebody's framing the Jedi? Is that
Can
what
you
you think?
repeat that?
Do you think it's possible May, um, oh, she did burn down everything. She's responsible for burning the temple, but she's not responsible for killing the Jedi because the Jedi were technically not burned. They weren't burned, and they weren't really under rubble. We really see they were not under rubble either.
Hmm.
Some of the Covenant. Do you think it's possible that somebody, we simulated some? She said,
Something else
remember,
happened.
Yeah, something else happened,
I agree
and she
something else
thinks
happened, yeah.
and she thinks the Jedi possibly killed the Covenant, but somebody's framing the Jedi.
Framing the Jedi.
Like somebody
I
else, and she thinks the Jedi
hmm.
killed the Covenant, but
Well, that's
somebody else.
why I say I think it's the mother. It may
Yeah,
think about like if that's your theory, right?
it could be the
If
mother.
the mother was the one who again possessed the May to do this, right? Was kind of like because if you notice,
Yeah.
Osha again was more with the 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 other mother, right? The one
Oh,
that we're calling Mama, right?
the one that letting. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then the other mother was more with May, and
yeah.
we never got to see again her scenes with May. So that's why I feel like it is going to be that mother. That is my prediction. It's going to be the other mother. It's I wouldn't say it's obvious, but it there's so many things where you're like, what is going on? Like, how did the witches
What's
just
her name?
immediately die? And if
What's
you
her
think
name?
about it too, think about it like this. Remember
What's
when
the mother's
Osha
name?
agreed, she was upset, and the other witches, um, they didn't like we didn't get to see a scene, but if you notice, the other mom was like, yeah, we'll accept it, right? We'll
Yeah.
accept you.
What's the name of
And
the mother?
so that also makes me think too that the other witches, like, there's a reason why they
And
that mother would kill them because they pretty much were going against their whole ordeal, right? So I feel like that it does
mother
make a
and
lot of sense that it
that's
was that mother.
the loving mother who is most of the time seen with the Aish, um, was Mother Anissa, right? The leader of the covenant, Mother Nisa. Is it actually Nisa?
Okay.
Uh,
Again, I don't remember the names. They kind of just, you know.
yeah, yeah, Monisa. I think the other mother was Vinastra Wu. Is that her name? Senior member? No, that's a senior member of the Jedi Order. That's no, she's not part of the covenant. Yeah. So Jodie Turner Smith's character is Mother Anissa. So I'm looking. Maybe she's a Amy Sang Rain. Is that her name? Rain?
Hmm.
Or is it Abigail? Or is it Ariris? Ariris. A Mother Nisa, leader Mother Nisa. Oh, Mother Corey. Yeah, Corey is the alien one. The one you think
Yes,
Corey or
Corey,
the
yes.
yes.
I mean, and also too, again, she's like this alien looking. She looks like Darth
So
Maul.
she looks like an evil alien.
That's how when I first saw her, I was like, oh, she kind of looks like Darth Maul.
She looks like an evil alien.
I
Like she's
forget what Darth Maul's people are, but yeah, you know, the Night Sisters and all that stuff. That's
the
what I
red,
took.
the red and yeah,
Yeah,
the
so that's my prediction. I think that it makes a lot of sense. I think
hmm
there's a lot of evidence for it. And that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued to see where that goes, like why the mother or what does the Jedi have to do with all this stuff, right? Because well then well I hope there is something else going on because then it would just be oh Mace hunting down those Jedi because they were the ones there
yeah.
to essentially, you know, maybe they were doing something else. That's they have to be have sorry, I'm all scrambled brain right now. I feel like the Jedi were doing something at the time of when the sisters were in the room, like because again, uh, I mean, yes, it kind of does make sense that May would hunt them down because now I like is she a Sith or she's you know
I
on
don't
the
think
dark
she's. A,
side? You
yeah,
don't
she's.
think so? I mean, that's what I'm
I
getting.
think she's a witch, a warrior witch.
But wouldn't that just be like okay, they're using? But I guess not. We don't
I
really
mean, look,
know.
think about
Right.
it. You think it's though? You think that it might be the mother, right? That mother. She's a
Hmm.
witch. Why not May? Remember. Why can't she be a witch too?
Yeah, but I mean, like the witches, like what? Like I felt like they were talking about the thread and all that
Yeah,
stuff, but
she's
I
obviously.
don't know. I got the impression that maybe there was something else going on. Like because because think about it, the other mother was like, okay, you know what? I understand that you don't want to be a witch, but
Yeah,
the other one seemed like, no, she
yeah,
definitely 100% can't be a Jedi. And to me, that felt like, okay, maybe this is how the Sith or the dark side is going to creep in because the witches, they felt neutral. They didn't feel like they were Jedi
no
or
side,
dark
no
side.
side. Yeah,
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 there was no side. So it made me feel like that, okay, well, this is maybe where the dark side is going to come from now, is from the mother and May.
yeah.
And maybe that's why they're hunting down the Jedi because they feel like the Jedi are the ones who kind of provoked
They in their mind, they
this
think the
whole
Jedi.
situation.
In their mind, they think the Jedi is the bad guys. They think the bad.
Right.
That's what they believe.
But like I said, there might be a twist. The twist being that the Jedi did something that they're trying to hide. And
Yeah, yeah,
and I feel like if that's the case, I wouldn't mind that. I'm sure people would be upset by that, but personally, again, I don't have any sort of attachment to Jedis. I don't really like the concept of a Jedi, at least so far of what we've seen in all the movies and stuff, because it just feels very restrictive and very like, holy shit, like
yeah. We're still
they're
here.
supposed to they're supposed to be the good guys, but
They're
they're
shady.
not.
They're making it
Yeah,
shady.
yeah, I never really like personally I would never want to be a Jedi
I
because it
think
just
George Lucas. I think George Lucas wanted to make Jedi's like the just pure good people.
yeah, but they do all this weird stuff like,
Yeah,
oh, you can't let go of grief, and you're like, yeah, but that's not how people operate. Like
yeah.
people
You
just
don't
don't
show.
let go of things.
Yeah, you don't get rid of grief in a
It
second,
sort
man.
of takes time.
Yeah.
So even when if you're
Yes, it
like,
were.
oh, this whole idea is like, oh, it's based on Buddhism, and it's like, yeah, but that's not what Buddhism is. It's not just like letting go of your feelings and just like ditching everything. It's more about observation and being acknowledging those
Okay,
emotions,
Red.
but not letting it take over you.
Yeah. I mean, because you know why the Jedi tell you to get over it? Because it's a pathway to the dark side. They
Right.
don't, right? It's a pathway to the dark side. Grief, because grief, well, there's different forms of grief, right?
Mm,
Obviously sadness, but there's anger, right?
right. I get it. This
Grief.
is not it's not supposed to be complex, right?
No.
But I think and this is my big criticism of Star Wars overall is that well, it has to be complex because if you have all this lore, you have all these movies and comics and they're all interconnected, it can't just be as simple as bad guy and good guy because then everything would kind of get boring. Like
Hmm.
when you read Marvel and DC comics, they're not just good guy and bad guy. There's a little bit of gray sometimes. There's a little bit of mixture going on to keep it interesting. Because if it was just the good guys beating the bad guys, I mean, that's what it is most of the time. But, for individual stories, there has to be some complexity for it to stand out.
Hmm.
Um, so that's why I'm like intrigued because I feel like Star Wars hasn't played around with the idea of like the good guy and the bad guys kind of merging. Like I would really want to see something like that in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Just to see where that would go. Like what would you know, why would they ditch the Jedi and the Sith or acknowledging that they have
I mean,
problems and
although we didn't like the show, and it's nothing to do with Jedi, but Book of Fett was like that, right? He was exactly a good guy or a bad guy.
yeah, well, I that's the thing. That's why I didn't like that show. That show just felt like it wasn't about Boba Fett
No, it wasn't.
the, and
Until halfway
and
through,
Boba
it was
Fett.
Mando.
Yeah, it was, and then on top of that too, Boba Fett. Like okay, this is what I really was expecting from the show, and I feel like the show was trying to set this up, but I wanted to see Boba Fett as pretty much like a crime boss who is basically like, okay,
You're right,
now he's the
Degrassi.
one in charge. He's not the mercenary anymore. He's the guy, controlling mercenaries. And that's not what the show was really about. And that's why I was disappointed in it because it just felt like okay, he's kind of playing more of a good guy angle, and you're like, well, isn't he a mercenary? Like, I feel like there's no good or bad
No,
in being a mercenary.
he
It's just sort
became
of
a
gray.
he became a crime boss. But when he took the that's what he became.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that show. And like I said, the worst show to me for so far has been Obi-Wan because like I said, I didn't finish that show.
Yeah.
I didn't really care to go back to that show. I just felt kind of bored by it. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna turn this off. And yeah, the last Star Wars show that I liked was obviously Andor. Season 3 of Mandalorian, I was not very impressed by. I was
I
kind of
know, I remember
disappointed.
that. We did videos
Yeah,
on our streams.
yeah, Andor, I love Andor. I think the show's really well written and it's very engaging. There's a lot of, suspense going on and it's like Andor's like hopping around all over the place.
Han
Yeah.
shoots Han.
Shot second and he was defending his business. Oh
But
man.
he just
Oh
what's that?
man.
What was that alien's name? Greedo? Is that his name? The alien? Greedo.
Greedo.
Wait, it's Italian all of a sudden? The alien's Italian?
Oh man.
uh, yeah, you're right, Degrassi. Han Solo. Well, yeah, yeah, I guess Han Solo he was a smuggler, right?
Yeah, he started because yeah, in the first movies, Han Solo,
It
he
was
didn't
about
believe in the
money,
Force. Yeah, and it was all about
and
money and
yeah, he
that's
did
why he
that.
leaves and then he comes back and because,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, he took
I always liked Han Solo more than Luke Skywalker, I have to be honest. But
Han spoke last.
Han spoke
Derek is
less.
Han, and Riley is Greedo.
Oh God. Oh God.
Uh,
But
so that means,
anyway,
oh my god, yeah, because Han was willing to take Luke in Obi Wan to save the princess because of a reward, possible reward
right.
money, right? Obviously, he was a smuggler, but he was greedy too, and he needed that
Hmm.
money to pay Jabba too, right? He needed to pay Jabba,
Right.
obviously, because he had a bounty on him. Um, obviously, um, there are some great characters in Star Wars even back then. I mean, every
Yeah.
lore has great characters to an extent. There's no Superman. Okay, Superman is like the epitome of good. Okay.
Well, I think some people thought Luke Skywalker was kind of like that. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I mean, obviously, people were so upset with the Last Jedi and all that stuff. Where I mean, I don't know. I feel like Star Wars kind of has neglected Luke because I mean, what's really stopping them from making a Luke TV show right now, exploring all the stuff that he did after
Well,
um
Mark Hamill.
Return of the Jedi? I mean, yeah, but they recasted Han Solo. They got rid of
Well,
Harrison
wait, was
Ford.
Sebastian Stan?
I mean, that would have been. I mean, he's probably getting older now, but I just don't understand. Like, why? How come you
And we
recast
gotta
Han
remember.
Solo, but you
We
can't
gotta
recast
remember.
Luke and Leia?
I don't think Mark Hamill filmed the scenes in the TV shows.
No,
The
he didn't. I think he might have done the voice, but
yeah.
and they probably like cleaned up the voice, but no, they just took his face and did
So he wouldn't
the
even
deep fake.
act.
There might have been maybe some face acting, but I don't think there was. He wasn't on set. I would assume he wasn't on set. It's a body double. Um. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying there. But
Sebastian
still, like a live action one, I feel like I don't know.
Stan.
There's a lot of weird decisions that they've made so far that again, I just don't really understand, and I kind of wish they would at least come out and try to defend these claims. Like I feel like one of the things that I see from, these people like Geeks and Gamers and Neurotic, they're always like, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy wanted this and blah blah blah," and they're, taking these clips that make it seem bad, but they never ask like, how come Kathleen Kennedy has never like done an interview or sat down or there's like behind the scenes
I
of
don't.
like the story room, the writing room with Kathleen Kennedy
Of,
explaining.
of, of the production of Marvel Studios and Kathleen and Lucas films. Kevin Feige does a lot more.
Yeah, Kevin Feige does a lot more. Yes, I will
Yes,
agree with that.
in that
Well,
sense, when
and
you talk about it.
there's other people at Disney too who I feel like justify their creative decisions a lot more
Yeah, this is
than
happening in season two.
Lucasfilm. Like
Season two.
Lucasfilm, I feel like they're like I don't really know what's going on over there. It just seems like they make random decisions
Uh huh.
and whatever works out and whatever doesn't, it is what it is.
It is. It is
Because
what it
it's
is.
like
Murder.
with Book of Boba Fett, like how come that never got another season? Was it so it was just like there for
I
filler?
I think it was filler for just for Mando, just before Mando season two, season
Yeah,
three.
it just I mean that was kind of disappointing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I can't even remember. Boba Fett never reappeared since then, right? I'm not
No, Boba
forgetting.
Fett has not been in any other shows
Yeah,
besides Boba
it just
Fett.
feels weird. Like
And people are surprised Boba Fett. I know got his own show because Boba Fett was really. Boba Fett was nothing. He was just a bounty hunter, barely any lines. There was no
no,
story.
I get she's not obligated to, but I'm not saying this as in like she needs to react to what is being said. I'm more saying this as how we usually get these type of behind the scenes conversations of understanding their train of thought. That's what I mean. I kind of would
Oh,
like to hear that out of curiosity because I think maybe it might put things into perspective better because right now I feel like it is kind of just randomness and I'm not really understanding like what why like I get it, okay, the High Republic stuff, but why this story in particular? And I guess I will find out when the show is done. But I don't know. I just that's why I feel very mixed on Star Wars overall, is that I feel like there's a lot of sameness. There's a lot of, okay, this doesn't seem like we're progressing. It's not even even with Marvel's faults right now, I still feel like Marvel is progressing in some ways, like story wise, or
Marvel's still
not
ahead.
story wise, but sort of like thematically and what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah,
We know they're doing the multiverse stuff because they want to do, they want to bring back the Fox and X-Men characters. They want to bring back the old pre-MCU characters in a way that feels satisfying. So it's like, okay, that's a progression,
fan
right?
service.
Yes, fan service, whatever you want to call it. But with Star Wars, you're sort of like, we're doing the High Republic, we're doing Mandalorian, we're doing all this stuff with Dave Filoni, and you're like,
It's because they're releasing like four movies, right?
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
and all these movies. I'm sure so many shows. I mean, yeah, so many shows are tying into the movies, right?
mhm. Yeah, they're
Uh,
gonna tie into the movies. They
hmm
canceled the
Well, what is this?
because
This
it
what
revealed too
was
many. Oh shit.
what was
Well,
this? Like we assume that most of the TV shows, like the Book of Fett, Mando, Ahsoka, is going to tie into like the Filoni movie. I don't know where this show is going to tie into
mm,
because it's not going to tie into the Filoni movie. That's after this, way after this, right? It's just
right. I mean also too, not to say like I want these things to tie into each other. Like I'm just saying like like what is like the series going to do that is like uniquely new? Like what are we doing that hasn't been done in the series before that might be interesting? That's what I mean. That's what I would want to see from Star Wars. I would want to see something that feels new. Like this show to me, I don't think it feels new. It just feels like, oh yeah, this is something, we haven't covered yet in a movie per se, but it is something that has been done or people have discussed before, whether it's in comics or video games or
yeah.
whatever it is, right? Outside of, TV and movies. And yeah, that's why I was saying I kind of want to see that blend of a Jedi and a Sith in a movie because I feel like there's something there that is new. There's no good and bad. There's something sort of gray. Um, and
Well, the
I
Gray
think that
Jedi
would
is
be
the rumor
interesting.
supposed. The Gray Jedi kind of, even though there's no such thing as a Gray Jedi, but I get it. Put you on.
Yeah, something like that, or a different concept, or
Yeah.
that I feel like hasn't been done before or seems unique enough. Um, but I don't know. Star Wars for me, like I don't like the Skeleton Crew. Like I would have to see the trailer, but I'm not. It's not like it's a hundred
It's gonna be very.
percent.
It's gonna be very different.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know it's gonna be different, but I mean,
Really.
I may not watch it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not. Like at this point,
What's
it's gotta intrigue me enough to watch it. If not, I'm just not gonna
what's
bother.
after Skeleton Crew? Did they announce any other feature shows to start at Disney Plus? I
I'm
don't
not
remember.
sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Lando.
Lando, that's happening.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Lando's still happening
I'm surprised it's not a movie. Whatever. With Don Glover.
with
So
Donald Glover. Yeah,
that's a prequel, obviously, right?
right. I think that might be it because they got unless they're still doing that.
Andor season. I mean, like a new show,
Yeah,
not like
and
I know Andor. I mean, like a new show, like not one.
the Ranger show I guess is canceled. They never said it was
No,
canceled, but
I think that's yeah. The thing is, I think it's still going, but I guess I wonder why it's not happening. Like, what's taking so long? We know it's supposed to be
yeah,
Gina Carano's show, right?
yeah. I mean, they to be honest, a lot of these shows have been announced like yeah, like a
Yeah.
very long time ago, and we're only
Oh,
getting them now. So
it's gonna be what's the character's name? Carson Teva's show? Is that what it's gonna be now?
mm,
The good old Canadian guy from King Convenience. It's gonna be his
oh
show.
man,
He's a good actor though. Uh,
yeah.
I met him accidentally at a wrestling event.
Mm.
It was weird. Accidentally, he was just there. I'm like, oh my, Carson Table. I didn't know he was gonna be a Mando at the time. That's because that's just before season 1 was coming out. I didn't know he was in it.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's actually cool. He has a YouTube channel.
I know, but yeah, I don't think it's been on it lately. I think it's busy maybe. But he
Yeah,
does have a
probably.
YouTube channel, and he's one of those. He's not. He's very engaging with the audience.
Right,
So like,
yeah.
because he does live streams and stuff. He's like, yeah, man.
Mm.
All right, we're gonna end this stream. It's almost midnight. You know.
Yeah. And I want to see the boys, so
Yeah, yeah. Okay, blinded. Where can we find you?
you can find me on my YouTube channel, Blinded Braille. You just put the ad and you should be able to find it. And you can find me on Threads. So yeah, go check that out. The Alan Wake video, it crossed 1,000
Congrats.
views. So hopefully the next part can reach that. But yeah, go check that out. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, for me, Saturday, guys. We'll do something Saturday. Don't know yet. Something Saturday related.
Mm.
Hopefully. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you for checking Acolyte episode 1 to 3. This just means I'm probably gonna do more streams on this show because I'm kind of forced myself to now doing this. So yeah.
Well, I'll come on too.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
All right. Take care, guys.